You've felt it before. The moment when the world seems to pull at you, testing your patience, dragging you into chaos, whispering that you must fight to survive, fight to be seen, fight to be respected. But here's a truth that most people never understand. Chosen ones don't engage in power struggles. Not because we are weak, not because we are afraid, but because we operate on a different level of awareness. Spiritual awakening isn't about proving yourself to others. Higher consciousness isn't measured by how many battles you win in the eyes of the world. It's measured by how calm you remain when the world is trying to drag you into a fight that doesn't belong to you. Today you are going to discover why stepping out of power struggles is your secret advantage, how it transforms your life, and how it elevates your energy above the chaos that keeps most people trapped. You see, most people are caught in a loop. They argue over status, over recognition, over control. They chase validation as if it were air, thinking that if someone submits or acknowledges them, they've won. And they fight relentlessly, emotionally drained by these invisible battles, unaware that every confrontation is slowly consuming their energy. The chosen ones, however, operate differently. You don't waste energy proving yourself to people who are not ready to understand you. You recognize the trap immediately, because your energy is tuned to higher vibrations. You see the game for what it is, a test, a distraction, a drain on your clarity, and you step aside. That's your first advantage. Clarity in the middle of chaos. Imagine being in a room where everyone is arguing over who is right, who is in control. You could join, raise your voice, prove your point, but instead you stand quietly, calm, observing. You notice things others miss, their frustration, their insecurity, their need for dominance, and without even saying a word, you influence the room. People notice your presence, your quiet confidence. That's the power of not engaging. Silence becomes your weapon, calm becomes your strength, and suddenly the chaos no longer touches you. You realize the irony. The more you resist joining the battle, the more power you naturally command. The more others fight to win, the more you rise above effortlessly. Let's talk about energy, because this is where most people fail to see the truth. Every argument, every fight, every attempt to assert dominance drains your energy. You feel exhausted, reactive, and small. The chosen ones know this instinctively. You protect your energy like a sacred resource. When someone tries to push, provoke, or manipulate you, the first instinct isn't retaliation, it's awareness. You watch the patterns. You notice the triggers. You recognize the attempt to pull you into a power struggle. And here's the shift most people never reach. Once you stop engaging, your energy becomes untouchable. Others' chaos can swirl around you like a storm, but it no longer reaches your center. This is higher consciousness in action. This is why chosen ones always appear stronger, calmer, and unshakable. They've learned the secret everyone else ignores. Energy is power, and power is never proven by fighting, it's protected by understanding. Now let's explore the subtle art of influence without confrontation. People often confuse influence with force. They think dominance requires shouting, proving, or controlling. The truth is almost the opposite. Influence comes naturally when you stop playing the game that others are obsessed with. When you remain neutral, when you stay grounded, people begin to notice your stability. They feel drawn to it, even if they don't consciously understand why. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to push or pull. Your presence communicates confidence and security, louder than any argument ever could. This is why chosen ones, who refuse to engage in power struggles, often achieve more influence than those who fight endlessly for it. They don't chase it. They embody it, and suddenly, doors open that were previously slammed shut. Opportunities come to you without you needing to wrestle them into existence. Let's address a question you might be thinking. But won't people take advantage if I don't fight back? This is where wisdom becomes the ultimate weapon. Choosing not to engage does not mean you are weak. It means you are strategic. It means you understand the long game. People who thrive on conflict are often short-sighted, reacting to impulses, needing validation, trying to dominate what they cannot control. You, on the other hand, are thinking several steps ahead. You are aware that confrontation often escalates and creates more problems than it solves. By staying out of unnecessary battles, you conserve energy, protect your mental space, and create room for solutions that others cannot see while they are consumed by their own struggle. The irony is stunning. When you refuse to fight, you often end up in the position of true power. The world notices your restraint. People respect it. And this respect is real, it's earned, not demanded. This is how chosen ones rise quietly, while others burn out in the noise. Here's another secret. When you stop engaging in power struggles, you start to notice patterns that were invisible before. You see who thrives on drama, who seeks control, and who reacts out of fear. And more importantly, you see yourself more clearly. Your reactions, your triggers, your emotional patterns, they become tools for growth instead of weapons for conflict. Every person who tries to provoke you becomes a mirror, showing you what still needs mastering within yourself. And the deeper your awareness grows, the less anyone else's chaos can touch you. This is the invisible armor of the chosen ones. You are untouchable, not because you dominate others, but because you have mastered yourself. You no longer hand over your power to anyone who doesn't respect it naturally. Let's talk about clarity, because this is where transformation happens. People get lost in the drama of power struggles because they mistake external victories for internal fulfillment. Chosen ones understand that true power is invisible, internal, and unwavering. You are no longer chasing approval, recognition, or dominance. You are creating a life that operates on principles far above the petty fights of everyday life. And here's the key. Clarity doesn't come from winning arguments. It comes from seeing them, understanding them, and stepping out gracefully. When you refuse to engage, you start to see solutions that others cannot. You notice opportunities, alignments, and openings, while the rest of the world is still exhausted by the conflict. This is how higher consciousness transforms your reality. This is how spiritual awakening rewires your approach to life itself. And here's where it gets even more powerful. Once you stop engaging in power struggles, your presence becomes magnetic. People are drawn to your stability, your calm, your unwavering confidence. Your influence grows naturally. Your energy expands. Doors that were locked by the force of ego now swing open simply because you operate at a frequency that others unconsciously respect. People who once challenged you now admire you silently. People who once doubted you now seek your guidance without you ever saying a word. This is the paradox of the chosen ones. The less you fight, the more you are recognized. The less you prove yourself, the more power you inherently command. The less you chase control, the more naturally it comes to you. It's subtle, invisible, and undeniable. Let's bring this into your daily life. Every time you are tempted to argue over who is right, to assert your dominance, to prove your point, stop. Step back. Observe it. Ask yourself, is this fight mine to take? Most of the time it isn't. And every time you resist, you reclaim energy, clarity, and power. Your mind becomes sharper. Your vision becomes clearer. Your decisions become wiser. This is the transformation that chosen ones experience continuously. It's quiet, it's subtle, and it is profoundly life-changing. Power struggles no longer control you. They fuel you in ways that others cannot understand. You rise above because you refuse to meet chaos with chaos. You rise above because you are a chosen one, operating from higher consciousness, spiritual awakening, and a level of awareness that transcends reaction. Here's the final insight, the breakthrough that most people never grasp. When you refuse to engage in power struggles, you are not avoiding life. You are mastering it. You are choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term victories. You are preserving energy, clarity, and wisdom, and allowing your presence to create impact without noise. The world may try to pull you in. People may try to provoke you. Situations may tempt you with drama. But your response is consistent. You observe. You protect your energy. You rise above. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, the life you have always been meant to live begins to take shape. Doors open. Opportunities multiply. Influence expands. Respect grows organically. You realize that true power never comes from control, from dominance, or from fighting. It comes from mastery of self, clarity of purpose, and the quiet strength of refusing to engage in battles that do not serve you. So take this with you today. Every time you are tempted to argue, to compete unnecessarily, to assert yourself where it's not required, stop, breathe, step back, protect your energy. Observe, influence silently. Operate from a place of higher consciousness. This is how chosen ones move through the world. This is how spiritual awakening manifests in action. This is how you rise above without fighting, without proving, without exhausting yourself. And here's the most important part. The world will notice. Doors will open. Opportunities will arrive. Respect will grow, not because you demanded it, but because you embodied it naturally. You are untouchable. You are powerful. You are a chosen one. If this connected with you, thank you for watching until the end. Like and subscribe to stay aligned with content that helps you rise above. Protect your energy and master the power that is already within you. Remember, true power is silent. True influence is invisible. And every step you take away from unnecessary struggles brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. Keep moving. Keep rising. And never ever engage in power struggles that don't serve your higher purpose.